You want to serve more like Roger Federer? Well, it's easy to see why. He's the greatest player of all time. He's won 89% of his service games in his career. And in this video, I'm going to show you 5 ways that you can serve more like Roger. Let's get started. Hey there, Ramon Osa with you here, and I can hear you now. Ramon, there's no way I could hit a serve like Roger. And while hitting 125 miles an hour down the tee within an inch of the line may not be part of your arsenal, I guarantee you the 5 things you're going to learn in this video will help you hit your serve a little bit more like Roger. And I don't know about you, but I geek out about this stuff. I can watch slow motion of Roger Federer serving all day, and sometimes I do.
Are you okay, babe?
All right, joking aside, there are 5 things that I want to share with you in this video that's going to help you serve a little bit more like Roger. But before we get started, let's talk about how to use this. You're going to get 5 key pieces of information. And I recommend, instead of just trying to put it all together and seeing what sticks, that you practice one thing at a time and then kind of piece it together. So for example, you could practice step 1 and really get good at step 1. And then practice step 2 and get really good at step 2, then put 1 and 2 together. Once you got that pretty good, go on to step 3 and make sure you got step 3 pretty good, and then put 1, 2, and 3 together, etc., 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 until all of the pieces of the puzzle are complete. I think that'll really help you. So let's dive into this. So step 1 is clearly the outfit. You got to have Nike and you got to have a bandana. Joking. Okay, it's actually the toss, and you almost knew this was coming. Probably the most underappreciated part of a really good serve is the consistency and quality of the toss. And so let's start with a really good hold on the ball. Now I recommend holding it kind of like this, as you see in this picture here, with your fingertips resting on the ring finger. This is by no means the only way to hold the ball. It's just the way that works for me, and it's the way that works for a lot of my students. Hold the ball however you need to consistently place the ball where you want it to go with little to no spin. All right, and that brings us to the location of the toss. Incidentally, I was watching an interview with Pete Sampras, and someone asked him, hey, how do you stay focused on, the point at hand when you're down break point and you got 10 million people watching you from all over the world? And he said, I just focus on where I want to toss the ball. Pretty cool, right? Pretty simple. Who's your favorite player? Leave it down in the comments below. Now, the location of your toss is going to change based on what kind of serve you're hitting, at least in the beginning. So if you're a righty, you're going to want your toss right around 12 o'clock for a kick serve, right around 12:30 to 12:45 for the old flat serve, and about 1 o'clock to 1:15 for the old slice serve. In all cases, you want the toss slightly into the court and at full extension with the reach of your racket. Before we go on, if you'd like a video that'll help you fix your toss forever in 5 minutes or less, I'll leave the link to that free training down below. Let's go on to step 2, and step 2 is to make a really solid first move. Now, if you watch Roger, he begins by actually coiling or turning his hips away from the court as he begins his tossing motion. And simultaneously, he begins by leading back with his right elbow. The coiling of the hips here is key, and I call this the corkscrew method. If you contrast that with the squat and thrust method, which is when you just kind of squat down with no rotation. The reason this is important is the serve power comes more from releasing stored kinetic energy and becomes a lot less about muscling the ball. Now, step 3 to hitting your serve more like Roger Federer is to keep your hitting palm down all through the backswing motion right up until we get into the trophy pose. This is key because it goes a long way towards eliminating the dreaded waiter's serve, which is when your wrist kind of flops open like a waiter holding a tray, which turns your serve into more of a push and robs it of power that we don't want that, all right? So keeping your palm down or rounded is going to allow the racket drop to happen dramatically, dynamically, and naturally, which is a key component to Roger's serve and should be a key component to your serve as well. Now, step 4 is we're going to pass through the trophy position. Now, realize that I didn't say we're going to get into the trophy position, because if you watch Roger Federer serve in real time, he's never really in one position. He's always flowing through the motion. And that's what makes it look not only so cool and effortless, but what makes it really efficient. But we do want to know where this position is, and we do want to practice finding this position for ourselves, particularly with shadow swings. So here's what the trophy position looks like. Your knees are bent, your hips are rotated away from the court, yet sliding forward into the court. Your hitting arm is comfortably away from your body. Your hitting elbow is roughly in line with your hitting arm shoulder, which it doesn't look like because your shoulders are sloped, but it is. Your tossing arm is still up there, almost like you're shooting a bow and arrow up into the sky. And this is a key step in what some call the stretch shortening cycle, which is just that rubber band analogy that you hear about all the time. Again, this is not so much a position you get into as it is a moment in time during a smooth, fluid serve like Roger's. Let's go on to step 5, and that's to have a full release of your serve. So here we are in the trophy position, even though we know it's just a moment in time. And as we're passing through it, we've stored up all of this kinetic energy. And now we just need to let that rubber band go. So to do that, we're going to push off the ground with our legs, rotate our hips forward into the court, and throw the racket head up at the ball. Now this is a key step that most players understand conceptually, but they don't actually do. You're going to hit up on the ball, which will give your ball a little bit of spin, which will lift the ball up and over the net and pull the ball safely down into the court. Thanks so much for watching this video. I had a great time making it for you, as I enjoy making every video for you. If you enjoyed this video, do me a favor and just click the like button down below. And if you haven't yet, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any future lessons. And let me know in the comments what I can make for you in the future that'll help your tennis game. And in the meantime, if you're looking for a training that's going to help you fix your toss forever in 5 minutes or less, it's going to show you one move for effortless power on your serve, and it'll show you a step-by-step process for getting more and more spin on your kick and slice serves. And I've created a free training for you that you're going to love. It's called the Serve Builder 2.0, and you can have it for free just by clicking the link down below and heading over and grabbing it. In the meantime, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you soon.